Welcome to my channel. Here I tell horror stories every 2 weeks. Today I bring to you 2 very unnerving stories that will make you feel extremely uneasy. So please stay till the end, because I'm sure you won't be expecting the endings. If you like this type of content, please leave a like on the video and subscribe. It really does help me out a lot. Today's stories are brought to you by... Without further ado, here are today's stories. Last night before bed, I dictated some notes about a project I'm working on into my voice recording app. When I got up in the morning, I realized I'd never turned it off. There was a 7-hour, 21-minute long recording waiting for me. Later that night, as I was cooking dinner, I decided to have a listen. Did I still snore? 2 years ago, in my last serious relationship, my boyfriend said I did. Or did I sleepwalk? One time I found my salt in the middle of the counter without any memory of putting it there. Maybe I was one of those people who could cook a whole meal in their sleep without ever knowing about it. Curious, I tapped a random spot in the middle of the 7 hours and hit play. Quiet white noise played through the phone's speakers, then the soft rustling of blankets as I rolled over. I finished cooking my chicken, pulled the Brussels sprouts out of the toaster oven, and plated everything up. I ate for several minutes, listening, but there was only more white noise. Maybe I should just put on the TV, this is getting a little boring. But just as I reached for the phone, I heard it. The unmistakable sound of a door opening. Huh? I don't remember getting up to use the bathroom. Knife poised over the chicken breast, I listened closely, for footsteps or a toilet flush or anything else. But there was only more white noise. I shrugged and cut into the chicken. Took a bite. Too dry. I'll have to brine it longer next time. I lifted my fork over a roasted sprout. I froze. There was a sound coming over the white noise. So quiet it was almost inaudible. But I could hear it. Because it was irregular. A shushing or hissing noise coming through at odd intervals. I paused. Tilting my head, holding my breath as I listened. The sound grew louder. I turned the volume up on my phone, holding my breath, straining to listen. I couldn't quite make it out, but it almost sounded like whispering. The sound then faded away, and the uninterrupted rush of the white noise took over. I let out the breath I'd been holding and slumped back in my seat. I listened for the next several minutes as I finished dinner, but it was just more white noise and rustling. I guess I don't snore anymore, I thought. I picked up my plates and got up to bring them to the sink. And then I heard it. Whispering. Loud whispering. As if whoever was saying it was right next to the phone. As if they were right in my bed. I dropped the plate. It shattered on the floor. But I couldn't move. Couldn't breathe. No. It has to be me. I must be sleep-talking. There's no way it could be someone else. I collapsed back into the chair and stared at the phone, at the jagged sound wave on the app. The whispering continued, a string of indecipherable syllables, and then it stopped. I grabbed the phone and rewound it, playing the whisper again, but I couldn't make out any individual words, just the same sounds over and over. What was I trying to say? I paused the recording and whispered the syllables to myself. But I had to admit, the way I whispered them didn't sound at all like the recording. Was someone actually in here? Should I call the police? I shook my head. I'd watched too many true crime shows. There is absolutely no evidence of a break-in. I locked the place up like a fortress at night. It had to just be me, sleep-talking. My mom told me I sleep-talk once or twice as a kid. I must do it all the time without realizing. Sighing, I finally got up and cleaned the shattered plate. That evening, as I went about various chores, I kept the recording playing in the background. I thought I heard the whispering a few more times, but it was so quiet. It very well could have been my imagination. Other than that, there was just white noise and occasional rustling. Finally, at around 10 p.m., I reached the end. I got settled in bed, pulling the covers over me. For a second, I considered turning the app on and recording my sleep again, but I decided against it. It would only bring more stress. So I cuddled against the pillow and closed my eyes. But as I drifted off into sleep, a horrible thought occurred to me. Before the whispering, I'd heard the door open, but I never heard it close. If it wasn't me, whoever it was, they're still here. One night, unable to sleep, I mindlessly scrolled through TikTok, hoping to find something that would distract me from my restlessness. Among the countless TikTok live streams, one particular stream caught my attention. The title simply read, "A Midnight Stroll." Intrigued, I tapped on it, unknowingly opening the door to a world of horror. The stream depicted a man silently traversing through a desolate forest. The eerie atmosphere was suffocating, with darkness seemingly swallowing the lone figure. To my utter shock, as the live stream continued, the man's path led him to a familiar place. My backyard. I couldn't believe my eyes. It was my house. How could this be possible? Fear gripped my heart, and I immediately dialed the emergency services, desperately hoping they could provide me some answers. The police arrived swiftly, but to my dismay, they found nothing out of the ordinary in the woods. Without any concrete evidence or immediate danger, they dismissed my claims. I figured that this account would probably go live again, and when it does, I'll screen record and get some proof. It took some time, but eventually, the live stream resumed. Unfortunately for me this time, however, it did not reveal my house. Just hours of this man walking through the woods at night. Why are people even watching this? I thought to myself. The live stream that night was a bust. This man didn't do anything out of the ordinary besides, being a weirdo walking through the woods at night. I anxiously waited for the live stream to return. After 2 days, the account finally went live again, and this time, I was prepared. I started to screen record, determined to capture the proof I so desperately needed. The stream unfolded just as before. The mysterious man paced through the dark woods, his footsteps crunching unsuspecting leaves. The sound of crickets could be distinctly heard. The man emerged from the depths of the forest, his gaze fixed on my house. But this time, something was different. He started moving towards my house, step by step, drawing closer to me. The fear that had gripped me earlier escalated to sheer terror. I knew I had to take action. My fight-or-flight response activated, and I descended the stairs from my room, making my way to the kitchen window, never taking my eyes off the live stream. I peered into the darkness, searching for any signs of the man approaching my house. But to my horror, I saw nothing. I looked back down at my phone and then back up to the window, and back down at my phone again. The man was continuing to walk towards my house in the live stream, but I didn't see him in real time. The realization struck me like a lightning bolt. The live stream had a delay. It had to have a stream delay. I watched him approach my back door on my phone. My mind raced as I frantically looked to the left and noticed my back door was ever so slightly cracked open.